So Hunter Biden today showed up 15 minutes late, not to his subpoena hearing, but to give a press conference to state his narrative.
I'm also here today to correct how the MAGA right has portrayed me for their political purposes. I am first and foremost a son, a father, a brother, and a husband from a loving and supportive family.
You're also addicted to drugs and hookers, and you're the first son who's made millions of dollars with no product.
I'm proud to have earned degrees from Georgetown University and Yale Law School. I'm proud of my legal career and business career. I'm proud of my time serving on a dozen different boards of directors. And I'm proud of my efforts to forge global business relationships.
Most of which we have no idea why you were there, and you held no qualifications for.
For 6 years, MAGA Republicans, including members of the House committees who are in a closed-door session right now, have impugned my character, invaded my privacy, attacked my wife, my children, my family, and my friends.
You took lewd pictures of yourself in drug-addicted stupors with hookers, and then you left your laptop at a repair shop long enough for it to become the property of the store owner. And you think we invaded your privacy?
I have been the target of the unrelenting Trump attack machine shouting, "Where's Hunter?" Well, here's my answer. I am here.
You are. You just blew off your congressional subpoena. So are you here?
My father was not financially involved in my business, not as a practicing lawyer, not as a board member of Burisma, not in my partnership with a Chinese private businessman, not in my investments at home nor abroad, and certainly not as an artist.
Sorry, an artist? Is that why the first American hostage release was from Israel or from the Gaza Strip was a family member of one of your buyers? Also, why are we moving the goalposts now? At first, it was this.
I did not know he was on the board of that company. I've never discussed my business or their business, my sons or daughters. I did my job. I never discussed a single thing with my son about anything having to do with Ukraine. No one has indicated I have. We've always kept everything separate. I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period.
So is that why it then became this?
Curious if the White House and the president still stand behind his comment that he's never been involved and has never even spoken to his son about his business.
So I've been asked this question a million times. The answer is not going to change. The answer remains the same. The president was never in business with his son. I just don't have anything else to add.
But the answer did change. And now Hunter says he was not financially involved. Do you see why Republicans are subpoenaing you, Hunter? Your business associate disagrees with your premise. Devin Archer said openly that Joe Biden was, in fact, the brand. There are so many inconsistencies in your story, dude. And we know you made a ton of money, enough to raise eyebrows.
They helped me in ways that I will never be able to repay.
Well, you certainly tried by paying your uncles $240,000 that was then passed directly off to Joe Biden as a loan repayment, which we have yet to see the evidence was ever loaned to them in the first place, which is in part why Republicans subpoenaed him to ask him these very questions.
There's no evidence to support the allegations that my father was financially involved in my business because it did not happen.
Then why did you blow off the hearing? If there's nothing to hide, why are you hiding?
James Comer, Jim Jordan, Jason Smith, and their colleagues have distorted the facts by cherry-picking lines from a bank statement, manipulating texts I sent, editing the testimony of my friends and former business partners, and misstating personal information that was stolen from me.
Nothing was stolen. These were legitimate subpoenas, many originating from any one of the over 100 suspicious activity reports on your finances, emails on a laptop that you legally forfeited or handed over willingly from Hunter Biden's business associates in the activity in question.
These same committee chairmen have engaged in unprecedented political interference in what would have already been a 5-year investigation of me.
Coming from the guy whose father and his political machine recruited 51 former intel officials to call the Hunter Biden laptop a Russian disinformation campaign, which we now know is not true. From the same guy whose father's at the top of the ticket of the party that wasted $40 million investigating Trump-Russia collusion that yielded absolutely zero things. The same party that is filing lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit against former President Trump to try to keep him off the ballot in 2024 as well. Please, Hunter, lecture me more about election interference.
Republicans do not want an open process where Americans can see their tactics, expose their baseless inquiry, or hear what I have to say.
Weird, because that's kind of what Don Jr. said, but then he went ahead and did testify behind closed doors, twice, by the way, where he was subpoenaed. Why should you be any different, Hunter? And we want to know, we want to hear what you have to say. It was all going to be a transcribed interview. We want to know why Joe Biden spoke with Hunter Biden business associates at least 22 times. We want to know why and more about the meetings and dinners and associates that came to the White House and the vice presidential residence. We want to know who and why and who was the big guy. Look, bribery does not require Joe to have his name on a check written to him. We happen to have two, but that is not required to prove bribery. But what Republicans are attempting to show beyond a reasonable doubt is that a private individual in the Biden circle benefited from Joe Biden's official actions or position. Biden family members and Biden business-linked entities received more than $15 million from individuals in Ukraine, Russia, Kazakhstan, Romania, China. Joe Biden received, quote, direct monthly payments from Hunter Biden's Owasco PC business account, which he received as reported, quote, payments from Chinese state-linked companies and other foreign nationals and other companies. An FBI FD 1023, this is not me saying, this is the FBI, alleges that Joe Biden accepted a $5 million bribe while he was vice president. There's lots of questions here. And it doesn't matter whether Hunter Biden thinks he's innocent or guilty. What matters is that the House subpoenaed him to ask him those questions, some of which could actually prove his innocence if he actually attended, but we'll never know because he just blew it off. The irony of him walking away, too, with Eric Swalwell is not lost on me. The same guy who not only farted on national TV, but was sleeping with a Chinese spy. Look, from 2016 to 2019, Hunter spent $683,212 on hookers that he paid no taxes on. Yes, he was a drug addict, but that does not absolve him of wrongdoing. He's hiding behind it. As even rabid Democrat Chris Murphy from Connecticut noted, these were legitimate charges that he is facing for this tax evasion. And addiction certainly doesn't give him the right to evade a House subpoena. The Justice Department prosecuted Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro for the same exact thing, despite claiming executive privilege on there. Hunter didn't even have that. He just blew it off. I'm wondering, will the same legal standard apply to Hunter? Either way, this was a huge middle finger to Congress. Show up, give a presser on the Capitol, and then blow off your testimony under a subpoena? Imagine, just for any liberals watching, imagine if Don Jr. had done that. You tell me if there isn't a double standard of justice in America.